don't mean nothing until the day that you gotta make your decision. Matter of fact, fire this motherfucker. I niggas be wrong more times than I'm not. When you come to me.
Man, this Laker trade is still buzzing, even though it's almost 24 hours later.
Right.
Shocking, right? We're also got some Warrior Laker rivalry happening up in this piece.
Right.
Welcome Nation. And the show is about Mr. Chip Kelly being hired as the new offensive coordinator for our Raiders. I got my boy Twan up in the pussy. Black is here with other folks. I don't know how they want to be talked about, but we got other folks.
Just the flex.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to give nobody's names and information away. You might be in witness protection or something.
Hey, he said I'll record my rights to remain anonymous.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Put you on blast like that. So yeah,
I tell you like me. You pour your own poison.
Yeah, man.
Because they get me in court. I don't want you to say, here, did you say this name was anything? Is YSL a gang? No, nigga, I ain't say shit about YSL.
Hey, like them old 2020 TV shows. He gonna be blacked out and have a distorted voice.
Yep, you could do that. Distortion on him.
Sanchez had a little drink and
So, Nation, what y'all think about this? What's up, Raider Ryan? We have an OC, and once again, it's an experienced coach who's got a track record of success and respected and stuff. I mean, it's starting to get repetitive, man. What the hell's going on around here? We're just gonna keep like hiring sensible people. All right, Brady.
Right? Who does that?
Apparently we do. So
who hires people that make sense?
Like I said,
I haven't heard of that.
This is I guess the new thing. Is this the Brady way of like making sense and stuff? Interesting.
I mean, the game plan looks simple. You know what I'm saying? You just look at what the Raiders have been doing for years, and you just do the opposite.
Oh, this is like opposite George from Seinfeld. You see,
it's like that little kid, that has the older brother, and the older brother always get in trouble. So anything the older brother does, you say, "I'm just gonna do the opposite of what older brother did." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. When you know your instincts are bad, you can trust that too. Yeah.
Right. And I like this. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it. The last time we were trying to figure out who we should bring in defensively and offensively. And I said, I want an all-star cast. You know what I'm saying? I want someone that looks like they can head that offensive side of the ball like a head coach, and someone that can head that defensive side of the ball like a head coach. And I think both of those guys are in a situation where they're possible candidates to be a head coach again. We know that Chip Kelly, didn't have success being a head coach, but he definitely was a good offensive coordinator, similar to what I believed about McDaniels. I think McDaniels was a good offensive coordinator, but he just could not be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what was, this situation with Chip Kelly. So I think there's a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to be the chosen son when everything's said and done? There's going to be a time where, Pete Carroll's going to have to give his endorsement to one of these guys, and it's going to be based on their performance. So, it might be an inner battle. You know what I'm saying? The defense can be, a solid defense, and okay, now Patrick Graham, I'm giving my nod to Patrick Graham when everything's said and done, or the offense is just so dynamite that Pete Carroll says, "Hey, Chip Kelly's my next dude." You know what I'm saying? So both of these guys could end up being our head coach. You know what I'm saying, down the line. But I think having two solid guys, you know what I'm saying, on both sides of the ball definitely works well for us. I'm not mad at Chip Kelly being our offensive coordinator. I like what I've seen in all of his stops. And he's made a few stops. I'll say it like that. But, I like what I see.
Yeah. No, I mean, we talked about this previously, a sort of iron sharpens iron situation where you have the coaches as friendly rivals, right? Good business departments going to compete against each other to be the most successful. But then, it's a friendly thing. And yeah, I mean, anytime we bring on one of these guys, we have to highlight that Chip Kelly could absolutely be in the succession plan. Right? There is a succession happening here. A little Game of Thronesy, like I try to say, rivalry here, where someone is going to get the sword seat thing. Is that the Iron Throne? Right. So it's going to be interesting to watch that as a subplot, right? Patrick Graham, Chip Kelly, Dark Horse Rob Leonard, right? It cannot be overlooked. So, going to be interesting to see. We've got a pretty good preview of what Chip Kelly's offense has become. Watching Ohio State, he was the coordinator, and watching them have the success they had this past season. So, going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
What is Pete Carroll's main slogan?
Competition.
Compete. Right. So the competition is not just going to be with the players. The competition is also with the coaches.
That's right. That's right.
So
yeah. Look, Black is over here looking kind of quiet. Haven't really heard nothing from him yet. What you got to say about Chippy Chip? Old Chip.
Chip Kelly. We talk about the Chip Kelly that was in Philadelphia, right? The head coach of Philadelphia, and then after he got ran up out of there, he went to San Francisco too, right? He went there shortly before he went underground and went back into the college ranks. That Chip Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Chip Kelly they were saying was racist and all that, right?
The people say things,
No, I'm just asking, are we talking about the same Chip Kelly before I give my opinion?
Yeah,
because for me, this is the thing about Chip Kelly. I could throw all that to the side, right? This is just a little side note. I just don't understand why people was calling Gruden racist and all the other shit, but people don't remember none of that about Chip Kelly and his character or whatever. But as far as Chip Kelly being even an offensive coordinator in the NFL, he ain't showed me nothing in the NFL. You should be dominating the college rank. Anytime you've been a head coach in the NFL, I'm talking about whether you was a good, bad, or indifferent coach. If you didn't went through the fire a couple of times in the NFL, a couple of seasons at least, being a head coach, you should be able to go down to the college level and do your thing. So essentially, you got ran out the NFL. You failed. You went underground and hid, and now you pop back up with the Raiders. Okay, cool. All right. Everybody's enamored with everybody's resume. Let's look at Chip Kelly's resume. His NFL resume don't say nothing to me. I don't know what he could do as an offensive coordinator. So everything that I'm going to base everything off of with Chip Kelly, blank slated right now, is just because Pete Carroll is the one who picked him. Because if anybody else would have picked him, I would have been 100% opposed to this shit. but now I'm only like 80% opposed. The other 20%, that's on Pete Carroll. So in this, when the season started playing out and the Chip Kelly shit started brewing, this is where I started from day one. So I don't want nobody talking about, well, if you go back in the offseason and doing, nah, I did that shit from the moment, from day one. He already suspect to me. He already said, just from a football standpoint, he's suspect to me. You know what I'm saying? Not the character thing. Then I got to thinking, damn. So essentially what we're going to do is make this a competition like Redder Twine eloquently stated, because like Pete Carroll said, it's a competition up and down the board. And I'm for that. So I get it. So what we're essentially doing is we're bargaining our franchise on two people. In theory, Patrick Graham, which I would agree with you guys that he deserves it, and that's a good person for competitor one. But for competitor two, Chip Kelly, no, I don't see us being led by a Chip Kelly NFL team. I don't see that. Now, if he happens to grow over these next season or two and prove me wrong, I'll be the first one to eat crow. I'll be eating the Chip Kelly, what they call that, crow. Yeah, Chip Kelly crow. And I'll be the first one to apologize. But as it stands right now, I don't like it. I don't care for it. But I'm going to go with the head coach. I trust his judgment. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And we're going to see what it do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's still, everybody's going to have the wait and see, no matter who we bring in. I think, like I said a little, in my explanation of things, I think having him not be the head coach, you know what I'm saying, is benefiting us. If he came in and was being the head coach, I'd be like, no. But what he did offensively, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to, where they were ranked on the defense, I mean, not defense, but where they were ranked offensively with the Eagles, at, they were ranked up, pretty high in, the most points, you know what I'm saying? Most points, on the team. So, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
So VBZ, that's my whole point. So he got ran out of the NFL, got a head coaching job with UC. So you get ran out of there for whatever reason, right? They said they got fired. So now you go from a head coach in college to a coordinator now. I get that some people are better coordinators and coaches, but you can't fall out the NFL to the head coaching job in the college and fall out of that to a coordinator. So what that would say to me is you're not even a premier NFL coordinator, because you fell from head coach to a coordinator. And so then granted, you did go to Ohio State and you did your thing as you should. Like I prefaced everything I'm saying. If you was an NFL coach, you should be able to go down to the college ranks as a coordinator and do your thing. Like you should be able to, like, for real. That shouldn't require a lot of convincing on that. So being that his trend is go like this, it topples down. What makes me think all of a sudden he gonna start trending up? Just because Pete Carroll the coach? Nah. What I'm thinking is Chip Kelly out of here within 2 years.
Okay. I think that he is a coordinator. I think that anything else is a distraction for him. I do think that I think that Patrick Graham has the decided advantage in the succession plan here. Liked by the players already, probably should have been the interim coach instead of Antonio Pierce. And so there's some of that, right? He came back here after all those interviews, probably because he feels a strong possibility that he could, ascend. I think the only reason Chip Kelly would be able to take that from him is because he is amazing all of a sudden, right? Chances are, probably not. But as a coordinator, I think that the league has come back or closer to the kind of college concept stuff. It's more normalized now to kind of run stuff that is being ran at the college level in the NFL. For some reason, defenders are falling for it now. Giving a tangent about education, but anyway, that stuff works now. So better chance what he's doing, that kind of stuff that he's running works. I mean, if it's working on Ohio State, it'll probably work in NFL. So we'll see. We'll see about his ability. He may be right, but I don't know. At least he's a skilled, respected coach as far as calling the plays, and it's not one of those hires.
Well, where y'all, how you, wait a minute. See, I can respect it because you're saying it. I can respect it. If anybody else was saying this, I would be like going crazy right now. Like, how do you come to that conclusion? Like, what makes Chip Kelly a force as an offensive coordinator? What's his calling card?
He has had successful offenses everywhere he's gone. He may not have won games everywhere he's gone because he's not a very good, I think, head coach, leader of men, organization of the team concept stuff, right? He might be kind of off-putting to people, right, or something. He's rubbing somebody the wrong way, right? Some people. But as far as everywhere he's going, the offenses have been successful, inventive. Some of the stuff he did was very, revolutionary or whatever, right? So, I think he may be loved more by the coaching community than by the fans and stuff like that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I get that. But like the stuff that he draws up, the way that he goes about trying to create offense, he's got imagination. He's aggressive, right? A lot of times you get these coordinators and they're just so non-aggressive that it's frustrating. So I think there's that really he has going for him. So people assume if you take all the rest of the stuff off the plate and just let him be a O coordinator, he'd be successful. When you did that, he won a national championship, right? So
yeah, with Ohio State though, I mean, dang.
True, but it's still.
He was there 1 year, like, that's
the year they won it.
He deserves some credit though because that was the year that they won. That was the year that he won. Yeah. But what I will say about Chip Kelly is, I would say he's a mid NFL coordinator. He's competent. I'll say he's competent, but I wouldn't say that he was. You would put him up there with the. I'm not even saying the top tier. I'm talking about upper echelon of coordinators. I don't know who else the coordinators that was even, even hireable. I don't know who they are. So I don't know if he was the best choice or not because I ain't paying attention that close. I just want to see the result, see what we're doing.
The other major candidate was Darrell Bevell. Shortly. Yeah, the coordinator from the Seattle Super Bowl runs.
Right.
Successful, coordinator. There was an idea that stuff got stagnant, and that's why he got axed out of Seattle. But he's kind of rebuilt his stuff there too. I think there's a lot of like him being blamed for the Super Bowl call, right? And so the first opportunity that there was up there for him to see, there's a chink in the armor. They were like, "Get that dude out of here." He caused the Super Bowl. So then, since then, Seattle has been looking for a coordinator as good as Darrell Bevell. I'll take that much.
You know what, too, Hotspot? I'm gonna say this about Pete Carroll. Making the decision to go with Champ Kelly. Not Champ Kelly. I keep saying Champ Kelly because I like Champ Kelly. Chip Kelly. The choice of him not going with Bevell shows me that he's willing not to be comfortable. Because if he would have selected Bevel would have been, you know, the safe choice, right? I've worked with Bevel before. Me and Bevel know, Bevel knows what I want. Bevel, you know what I'm saying? But for him to go with Chip Kelly, someone that he doesn't have, that I know of, has a, you know, correlation that he had like with Bevel, I I I give props to that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And to Black, he said that, he's mid, but it's been better than what other coordinators we've had. So I if you're not super thrilled about it, at least you can kind of say it's an improvement from what we've had as an offensive coordinator. you know and I think like, a lot of people are going to, bash him because of him being a head coach and the failures that you may say of him being a head coach. But when you start looking and diving into where those offenses were ranked, you might think a little differently. I'm not saying that he was the super best offensive coordinator in the world, but he was he was up there in rank. You know what I'm saying? And you can go to, like I said, the Eagles. You can talk about, even when he was with the we just recently with Ohio, right? And then, I go back to even when he was with the Ducks. How was that offense going? You know what I'm saying? Now, and you can interpret that for your own, but um that might be some homework someone may want to, for themselves, want to dive into to make them feel a little bit better about our choice.
Has Chip Kelly ever been an offensive coordinator in the NFL, or he just been a head coach?
He's served as a head coach, but
Mhm.
most, okay, so how can I say it? They've been, most head coaches that are offensive guys, like McDaniels, right? McDaniels was a head coach, and then he, was running things on the offense, right? So he's juggling being a head coach and dealing with the offense. And for some people, like we said, like a few times on even on this show, you know, some people can't juggle that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what, was going on with Chip. Chip was handling the offense, but everything else outside of that, it it just didn't pan out well for him in the NFL.
Yeah.
So for him to get back down to the basics, what I'm saying, back down to what you would say his bread and butter is, I you know, I'm taking that all day. That's kind of how I feel about, as much as people want to hate on McDaniels. If McDaniels was our just offensive coordinator and he wasn't just, he wasn't trying to be a head coach and be in every room and, what I'm saying, trying to micromanage, what I'm saying, Patrick Graham, even on the defensive side, like, that was McDaniel's downfall. Like, if we could just get McDaniel's as a offensive coordinator and just have him running the offense, I think our tone would be a little different in regards to how we feel about the dude.
So
So,
what make y'all think that in 2 years that Chip Kelly is ready to be our head coach then? 3 years. Because if all these things is true, what y'all saying that he's a better coordinator than coach, that's not going to change in 3 years for sure. I promise you, it's not. Unless we
Probably
go
not.
12-4, I mean 12-5, 13-4. Like, unless he come and start doing that shit,
Mhm.
then it's clear. But let's
yeah,
look at the things in the middle of the fairway, like for real, like all things
Mhm.
considering. Let's say he
Yeah.
come in and be a 500 coach, even like a 650 coach, where his career is like a 650 coach. He
Mhm.
not, that's not enough for me to think, oh, now all of a sudden he's head coach worthy.
no,
So
Yeah.
I'm just so I'm saying, why are we setting ourselves up for failure by putting him in that position to even think that he's going to be the head coach of the Raiders in 3 years, be a successor? Nah, I don't like it.
Mhm.
I
He
don't like it.
competition. Competition.
I,
He may not be the last. right? Because it depends on who you bring it in. I'm telling you, Rob Leonard is in that conversation also as the defensive line coach. He's been kept for a reason.
He shouldn't even be
He's
in consideration, Chip Kelly.
right.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
Why not?
Why not? We just spent 26 minutes explaining why. I spent like the last 7 minutes or 10 minutes explaining
People
why.
change.
Like because y'all just said he's a better coordinator than head coach. Like when y'all give him too much, he do too much or not enough or whatever he don't do or whatever he does. But either way it goes, he doesn't have the pedigree to be a head coach. Not in the NFL, not in college. Like where is it gonna come from?
Hey, people learn, man. They get better. You know.
Hell no. He was in the NFL, got 2 NFL jobs, lost them, got a college job, lost that, and now he an offensive coordinator. Then all of a sudden, within 3 years, he gonna get right and he gonna be ready to lead the Raiders.
I didn't say it was likely. I didn't say it was likely.
Yeah,
I just
we didn't say this was etched in stone, but
I was saying there's a chance.
I didn't say it was etched in stone.
I will say this, Black.
Y'all was excited about 15 minutes ago about it though.
No,
no.
And hear me clearly, because I was a part of that whole grooming, situation of Chip Kelly coming in, right? I think the positive though is that he's going to be with someone like a Pete Carroll. So wherever he may have been lacking as a head coach, hopefully he's already had those notes of, hey, this is what went wrong over here in Philly. This is what went wrong over here. And hopefully, I'm not saying it might not even be the 2-year mark, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, Pete Carroll may be able to work some of those things out for him. And when it's all said and done, you know what I'm saying? Then he might throw his hat in because he's learned from his mistakes, but he's also gained something by being under someone like a Pete Carroll. So it could go out that way. Not saying that it will go out that way. Not saying that Chip Kelly is automatically going to be the head coach because he took the offensive coordinator job. I'm not saying that at all, but there's possibilities of that happening if Chip Kelly does not just run this offense, but he learns under someone like a Pete Carroll.
The things that he lacks are literally what Pete Carroll excels at.
No, he don't even need to be in the building. That's the part y'all not understanding about me. Y'all keep trying to sit here and say, well, maybe Pete Carroll will sprinkle some dust on him and he might get right. He might? Shit, I hope so. Shit, I don't give a damn. But what I'm saying is he should even be in consideration. He should not have no black on. He should have no silver on. He should have no silver or black on or silver and black. That's what I'm saying. He should even really be in it because what happened is you've done so well with all these picks that you've done. And this is the one weak ass link that just don't make sense. It don't make sense. That puzzle piece don't fit. But hey, I'm gonna reserve the right to be wrong. Because like I said, if I am wrong, I will be the first to say that I'm wrong. But when I am right, I don't want to hear everybody say, yeah, you were, I wasn't really feeling him anyway because, he ain't really won nothing and, he was kind of mid. I don't want to hear that shit later. Not from y'all necessarily. I'm talking about all the people that's making videos right now on YouTube because I clicked on 2 videos. It was like, oh my God, you would think that we just got, I don't know. I don't even want to say Jesus Christ because it's Sunday, but dang, I don't know what happened. I was like, we got a mid-level OC. I'm not impressed, man. It's cool. It's cool.
I mean,
I'll go back to being quiet so y'all can be excited again. See, that's why I was being quiet.
No, you good. You're good, man. Listen, we want reality here. And the reality is there's some questions. I said, this is going to be an interesting show. Because there's one side and there's the other side. And it just depends on how that coin lands. This is a little bit of a, you say it's a little bit of a gamble.
We got gambling for high upside. Graham as much as we like him. So
open up that can of worms.
It is what it is. Like, you're always gonna find something that you're not gonna like about, and that's everybody. I as much as I may be positive about it, thinking about being optimistic about the move, I got questions too.
Yeah, see, this is a good point, right? Time will tell, right? Time will tell. Y'all are worried about Pete's successor. How about we let Pete coach and then let the dominoes fall where they may? And Chip Kelly is one of the better OC hires available.
I think, yeah, and I'm with you, like kind of wait and see, but I also want to think ahead, because one of the bigger issues with this Raider Nation is that we don't have a backup plan. You know what I'm saying? Like we got mad at Derek Carr for, oh, he's a bum and he ain't a good quarterback, but what did we have wait in the wings waiting on it? Like, we didn't have nobody behind Derek Carr. So what happened? We went through a massive carousel and still on a carousel of a starting quarterback, because we got rid of a starting quarterback and didn't have the succession plan behind that. And that's just one example.
Yeah, but that example, like, it would be different if we signed Derek Carr at 45 or at 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to have a backup plan, because people was like, why the hell we pick Pete Carroll? Well, he's the one going to change the culture, and then when he changed the culture, we can bring in a coach. That's a long-term plan, because everybody was talking about, I'm tired of turning coaches over. Why don't we ever have a long-term strategy? And then when we come up with a long-term strategy, you put a piece in there, and I'm like, well, how does this fit in the long-term strategy? Now everybody's like, well, why y'all talking about the head coach and shit right now? Let him coach. Like, no, wait a minute. Because later on, a year and a half from now, when shit ain't gonna happen the way y'all think it's gonna happen, like it always don't, then y'all gonna sit there and be like, man, it's the quarterback. We threw the quarterback in too soon. Oh, we gave up a draft pick to get Shador. Why we do this? The whole time it's Chip Kelly weak ass, because we've seen this movie before, or at least I have. I saw it in Philadelphia, and they had a short film that was in San Francisco. That's why he was only there a year. So I don't know what the fuck y'all looking at. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what y'all looking at, but
I'm missing when he
it.
Was with the Eagles in 2013, the Eagles were 4th in points, 9th in passing, 1st in rushing. 2014, they were 3rd in points, 6th in passing, 9th in rushing. 2015, 13th, 12th, 14th. This is like worst performance. So this is NFL, right?
2015.
While he's head coaching, yeah. While he's head coaching.
2015. Offenses are way more complex than 10 years ago.
True, and he just won a national championship in the laboratory
of college motherfuckers.
But that's where we're creating offense now. That's where it starts now.
That's what I'm saying.
The most innovative stuff is down there.
He's competent. I'm not saying he's not competent. I'm not saying we ain't gonna be able to get a first down or 4 or 5. I'm just saying, how is he this great hire like I saw? I know I saw it up there on the chat. This is a great hire. Like, how is this a great hire? I'm trying to see the greatness in the hire.
Just as an OC, he's been successful.
Okay.
I mean, and he's, obviously an offensive mind that someone would call borderline genius. Some might say that we have a room full of coordinator geniuses or something in there, So we'll see. Chip Kelly did interview, and it could have been him instead of Josh McDaniels.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hell no. Wait a minute. Hold on. What you say? What was the stats you just had? 2016, they was ranked what?
I said 2015.
Huh?
I said 2015. I was talking about the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. 2015. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was they ranked?
13th, 12th, and 14th.
Yeah, they went 6-9 that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to the Niners, and they went 2-14.
Yeah, that was a bad team.
Oh, hell no. Y'all, I am not buying it. It's a no for me, dog.
Okay. Well, 13, 14, and 15 were pretty good with the Eagles. So
yeah, he went 10. No, yeah, let's give him his credit. 10-6 and 10-6 for sure.
Yeah.
Who was the coach before that, though?
I'm really not looking at his head coach performance. I'm only looking at what did the offense do, because he's going to be coordinating the offense.
I'm just looking at the end result of the team, how they played as an all, because that's what I'm looking at when it comes to the Raiders. But I feel you. I'm gonna get off y'all, dog.
Hey,
I'm cool.
so
I'm gonna
with
get off
that
of
being
it.
said, Black, and we can go down that path, right? You 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 you're getting on, you know, Chip for record, but we can also say that about Patrick Graham. If you look at Patrick Graham's record, being a defensive coordinator, you would say he's not a good defensive coordinator.
I didn't say Chip Kelly wasn't a good nothing, but I would agree with that. What you're saying about Patrick Graham. The only reason why he's even in consideration is why? Because he's the most stable thing that's been in the franchise in the last few years, and Pete Carroll chose him. Because had Pete Carroll thrown him out to the wolves like the rest of the coaches, we wouldn't have felt no way about that. So don't act like I threw up Patrick Graham up there to be the nigga and successor. It's the fact that he earned the right to be there. That's the issue that we be having about this black people getting hired as coaches. They be putting in their time and don't get the chance as head coaches. And then they get these little Rooney Rule interviews but don't get the job. Or they get these impossible jobs like AP did and get fired after a year. No, this is the quintessential thing that it should look like. Patrick Graham, black coach, dealt with the Raiders, ups and downs. Finally, he gets his chance under new regime, under a good qualified head coach like Pete Carroll. Learn under Pete Carroll. If he don't get it right in that situation, he never will. Give him his chance. So I can see him getting his chance. Now, just like I broke that down, I'm trying to understand how Chip Kelly fit into this. Because if that's the case, I'm already team PG.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just, like I said, it's a very strong possibility that of these candidates, PG is the guy. I'm just saying he has the head coach experience. Therefore, he has to be considered in the running. There's a chance, however minimal it may be, right? Because after his failures numerous times, his chances are not as bright as someone like PG who has no, dust on his luster, right? He's never been a head coach and lost. He's never got his shot. So I think there's a very good chance.
He should get a chance.
In competition wise, you know what I'm saying, Chip Kelly's gonna have to blow Patrick Graham out the water. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But even with that being said, but by him having the choice or the liberty to attempt to blow him out the water, gives him some type of percentage of a chance of winning the job too.
Well, I just think the person that we brought in should be the obvious choice over Patrick Graham, and Patrick Graham should be the one that proved that he's the one that could take the job. Because if Patrick Graham is the obvious choice that we got right now, well, yeah, I'm gonna postpone on this.
He got head coach interviews this year.
This ain't too good. I'm gonna sit in the back seat. I'm not sitting in the front seat.
Remember, it's a succession. All they got to do is take him over the top. They don't have to be Pete Carroll.
I'm sitting in the back seat. I'm just have my seatbelt on.
At Oregon, the Ducks, the first year he was there, were 8th, 36 points a game. And then 2010, 47 points a game. 2011, 46 points a game. 2012, 49, almost 50 points a game. So, crazy numbers with the Ducks back then, right? UCLA, he took over. They were like horrible. We have me and about UCLA's team. Black, like, I mean, can you really blame him for UCLA?
Yeah, but you ain't supposed to get fired from there, though.
Eventually, all head coaches get fired. That's how it works.
Okay, then he's supposed to go get another head coaching job, not like a OC
or maybe you
job
just realize you don't like head coaching that much. You just want to be a coordinator. And so you go do that, win a title, and give yourself a coordinator job.
So I don't want that nigga to come and be the coach of our team in 3 years then. At all.
But we're the ones saying that might be it. We
Right,
don't know for
right.
sure if he's
I thought.
actually even trying to do all that. Maybe
No, hold on,
maybe
talking about.
maybe
I
he's
thought
just
we was
wanting to be a
playing the
coordinator in
fifth
the
of
NFL again.
Beethoven. I thought we was playing the fifth of Beethoven. I thought we was gonna play the whole symphony through this time. And I know it's some violins go right here, but y'all telling me we gonna put a cello right there for right now. That's what y'all telling me?
Hello.
No, man.
That's what y'all telling me?
No. Listen, what we're saying is that maybe he just kind of conforms and slides right in and becomes the violin you're looking for.
Oh my.
Okay. I'm gonna leave. Okay. I got y'all now. I'm kind of slow. That's why I had to ask it like 4 different ways. I'm sorry.
It's
I got
okay.
you.
Just jump on the bus when you can.
That's what I ain't gonna do.
Yeah, Black's not joining this one. He gonna be on the sideline throwing rocks at the bus.
This is all hypotheticals, you know what I'm saying, of the possibilities of him being a head coach. I think, again, bolting it back down to him being the offensive coordinator, which is primarily what we're asking for him to do. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that, Pete Carroll was adamant about, and we know that, that Pete Carroll's been having this, since he's been a head coach, is the run game. And we know that Chip Kelly has, in every stop that he's had some running backs. You know what I'm saying? He's run the ball too. So, I think that's, another reason as to why, Chip Kelly was an option, was because his run game, and just from Ohio State, them two running backs over there at Ohio State. I know I have a preference of one over the other, but if we end up pulling one of those in the draft, we might be cooking with some hot grease. You know what I'm saying?
Take some Travion Henderson for real. I like him a lot.
I like Travion over Judkins, but both of those guys were there. You know what I'm saying? So he's worked with backs and knew how to run an offense with some good backs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was, one of the things that Pete Carroll was adamant about, but he's also in every stop that Pete Carroll's been in, he's always had running backs, and he's always found running backs. So if you can put that together, you know what I'm saying, Pete Carroll finding a running back for the offense, and then allowing Chip Kelly to highlight that guy, there goes a bit of our offense right there. Play action with Brock Bowers.
Yeah. Coincidentally, the first year that Chip Kelly arrived at UCLA, we want to talk about that, was 2018. We subsequently drafted Colton Miller that year. He was one of the 5 players drafted from that team. He also had Josh Rosen, who went to the Cardinals. You know how that went. Not the player that was thought to be worth the number 10 pick. Kenny Young, Scott Quisenberry, Jordan Lasley. So not a ton of talent on the UCLA team. We took our first year there. By the time we were in year 3, they had the 20th ranked offense, coming from the 98th ranked offense. They were scoring 35 points a game. Next year was 13th, 36 points a game. Next year was 8th, 39 points a game. And then 2023, 26.5 points a game. So not as good. But UCLA is just not a very talented team.
And I know it's college, but they average look better than our average.
This is true. But I mean, the talent level is different. There's like,
yeah.
Carson Steele is the running back that they're like bringing in for a transfer at UCLA, right? Right. Kyle Ford, USC's scraps, right?
Exactly. The Clippers of college football. You know what I'm saying? USC
Who's their quarterbacks?
USC is the Lakers, and UCLA is the Clippers.
Yeah, that's a fair analogy for sure. Hey, who was their quarterbacks? HB.
So I mean, you had Dorian Thompson Robinson was there for a minute.
DTR, yeah.
Yeah, DTR. But who took over after him? You'd have to let me get somebody who's an expert. Let me ask the experts over here. And Menlo. Yeah, you tell me. Because the truth is, I don't know because they aren't good. That's how bad.
And to even further home, DTR versus Caleb Williams. Who you picking?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. So what was he working with?
Ass.
What year was Chip Kelly the coach at UCLA?
2018 to 2023. So Josh Rosen, I think DTR was next, and then
Josh Rosen
for 1 year, the first year. Yeah.
Ah.
And then
we
found out Josh Rosen wasn't very good. And then DTR.
No, Josh Rosen, he wasn't that good, but he got drafted.
Yeah, the people sometimes make that mistake.
Yeah, but he got drafted though. I'm just saying it counts.
He did get drafted.
I'm just saying it counts.
It does. DTR improved greatly. I mean, like he was not really a quarterback when he arrived. Okay. By the time he left, he was one of the better, quarterbacks in the draft. Better, not best, but okay, good. He might have a future. He got a nice arm. He's mobile. He stopped making as many mistakes. They climbed all the way to 8th in scoring.
Can we talk about the you brought up Philly? Can we talk about the quarterbacks that Chip Kelly had in Philly?
Yeah, let's go through the quarterbacks.
Who was it? Michael Vick? Who was it?
No.
Who was it?
Let's see. So
Mike Vick, Nick Foles,
mm-hmm.
and Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, why y'all say no? It was Michael Vick.
Okay,
that's what got him. That's what started getting him in trouble because he. Anyway, see, y'all almost got me triggered.
But hey, can we be honest that Mike Vick, the Eagles' Mike Vick, wasn't the Mike Vick that we all fell in love with though?
No, but Chip had him playing in a certain way that was actually, he was successful, right?
Yeah.
So the first year it was Foles. Foles was the leading quarterback in 2013. And then 2014. Trying to see the Eagles roster. So 2014. Yeah, so yeah, this is the Mark Sanchez edition year. So Nick Foles, and then we got Mark Sanchez in 2014.
If he was ranking offense with a quarterback like Mark Sanchez, just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
there y'all go with that shit. Sanchez was
Mark Sanchez.
Come on, man.
Mark Sanchez. Butt fumble.
See, there y'all go. So
he had been 10-6 with butt fumble.
So now y'all gonna act like Sanchez wasn't lighting the league up for a period of time.
Under Chip Kelly only. Who else did he light it up under? The Jets? Nope. I mean,
we know what was going on with the Jets.
That didn't look good. But he went to the Eagles. They went 10-6. And, saying they had like one of the top offenses. We talked about that earlier in 2014, right? So, not like he had a blow. Like, he didn't have Brady, right? He did it with Mark Sanchez, Nick Foles, right? Let's see. Let's look at him now.
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
Again.
Yeah,
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl, and he actually won the Super Bowl. So I don't want to hear that shit.
You mean he played the playoff games?
Bro, I don't give a damn if you play only in the Super Bowl. He went into that game, and he wasn't managing the game. He played the game. Like, played.
That's good. That's good for him.
Now, so most people, you can't just throw any quarterback in there and that happen because I know they got a starting quarterback right now that played his ass off and they lost the Super Bowl.
So you really consider that Nick Foles is a good quarterback?
No, what I said was Nick Foles won the Super Bowl.
so out of those three quarterbacks, you pretty much telling me that Mike Vick was the best one that he had.
We didn't have Vic. That's what I tell you. There's no Vic on this list, guys.
I can agree with that. But see, this is the thing. It's not the talent that I worry about so much. Because you got to think about why. So they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles under Chip Kelly. No, they didn't. Chip Kelly didn't win no Super Bowl. Hell no.
That was not Chip Kelly.
It was not Chip Kelly. So yeah. So
no. So he didn't have Vic, guys. So it was Foles, then Sanchez for 2 years, then Sam Bradford, and Mark Sanchez again, right? Because I think Bradford.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
A week or two before he was hurt, because that's Bradford. And then let's see, 2016 was the final year, right, for him as coach for the Eagles, I believe. No, that's it. He was actually gone after 2015. So yeah, Bradford sealed his fate. So Foles, Sanchez, Bradford. And,
QB.
You know.
Oh yeah. That's all good though. That's your man's.
You know, I'm just saying he didn't have no world beaters over there. He just had some dudes. You know, and then Frank Reich came in and.
That's y'all square from Delaware.
Hey. So the Raiders Rebel says his offenses average 140 yards per game rushing. We averaged 80 last year. He said, I don't care where it's played. They play on Mars. They get 140 to 80 matters. He says Patrick Graham is on the rise. Kelly has plateaued. I think that's very true. Very true. Raiders should be exempt from the Rooney Rule since we started the ethnic head coach thing. I think that if your coach is already, you know, like the one you're going to hire is like the fact that we had to use the Rooney Rule, even though we was about to try to hire Antonio Pierce was fucking strange to me. So, and look who's in the chat, Mr. Western Conference. He's probably pretty damn happy right now since, you know, Chip Kelly and Luka in one weekend. Just saying. I see you too. Yeah.
Oh, Warrior fans. I'm sorry, Jimmy Butler ain't coming.
No.
We don't want that. We don't nobody want too sweet. Nigga, too sweet.
Sweet heat, nigga.
Yeah, sweet heat.
Hey, you don't want
him.
Hey, you don't want lace front on media day?
No way, man. Jimmy Butler is the signature of toughness, guys.
It kind of fit y'all in San Francisco.
I want to kill Pat Riley. Like what? Shut up, man. We don't want that over here.
Hey, it kind of fit y'all in San
Keep that over there. We ain't got to win no more championships. We won enough.
We got a dynasty to ring.
We good. You can keep that over there.
We going out with Curry retiring.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Matter of fact, he can get out early if that's the way you want to go.
Yeah.
Oh no. He says sweet heat, huh? You're a fool. Y'all wrong for that. Jimmy Butler is, everybody knows, according to the media, he's one of the toughest players in the NBA and a pillar of competition and stuff. So anyway, we're moving on. 100, right. Well, he said that Luka news crazy, right? Man.
Hey, so I said this. I think I said this the last time we were live. I said if we get the offensive coordinator, then we could really start looking at the players, in the draft and free agency based on kind of correlation, right? So, what quarterbacks do you think?
So all of a sudden, Dylan Gabriel and Will Howard are rising up because one of them plays at Oregon, and they still have the echoes of that offense. That's how monumental it was. And one of them was his prodigy just this year, as he was not only the offensive coordinator, he was the quarterback's coach. And all of a sudden, Will Howard looked a lot damn better. So I think those two are going to be ones you have to kind of consider further. Is Nick Foles still playing? I
don't want him.
I'm joking.
Well, I'm just saying, but you said those names, and those definitely are guys that we could have a discussion about, because they're not even going to be guys that we need to get in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Those are guys you can get in the later round that would be familiar with the offense. So, we and again, we can do what we said is don't rip out rip the plastic, open and throw them out there. You know what I'm saying? Let Will Howard sit. You know what I'm saying? Let Dylan Gabriel sit. You know what I'm saying? And we can get that premier defensive guy first round, still get the quarterback, and still be cooking.
I mean, it's entirely possible. We could look to do something like that. You don't always have to get the quarterback in the first round. It's a much better chance you hit if you pick them number one, right? But we're not going to have that option. So now it's just like we're playing odd slot game, right? How much do we want to bet and probably lose to Vegas? So we don't have the number one pick. I
like Jackson Dart, but I don't like him at 6.
Hell no. No.
I'm just being really honest.
I think that honestly, I haven't had a chance to go through all the tape on Gabriel and Howard, but they have a better chance of being first round picks to me, or should have a better chance of being first round picks than Jackson Dart. I don't know what's happening with Jackson Dart in the media right now. It's not coming from scouts. There's something happening but we're not really in control of that, right? But yeah, there's a narrative being built for that guy, so I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, I think Will Howard and Dylan Gabriel have a chance to sneak into the first round consideration. I think depending on testing and things like that, Gabriel, his measurements were okay, right? 5'10" and a half. So, not too short. I think he measured already at the Senior Bowl. So he's 5'10" and a half, according to the Senior Bowl. So we'll take it, right? That's his measurement. I don't think that's too short, right? I think it's just above the acceptable height for a quarterback, right? He's basically Russell Wilson's height. So just about a little bit shorter than that. So, Will Howard, of course, is prototypical size, right? And has shown a lot of development and has a lot of kind of physical talent stuff. If he could come off of his toes, he's a little toesy. If you scout quarterbacks, you know what I'm talking about. Black knows what I'm talking about. Playing quarterback, he's a little toesy and is taken away from some of the zip on his throws, but his touch is it's kind of good, man. He's very able to layer balls and that kind of stuff. He shows the ability to get through his reads. Now, Ohio State, And Chip Kelly, he's going to simplify things with the quarterback. A lot of times he is half field reading because the play design is that fucking good, right? Like that guy is one of these two guys is going to be open, right? Stuff like that. But then you do see him go through full field reads, right? And 6'4" and something, almost 6'5", 240. Got some mobility to him, right? I think there's a chance that as we get through this process, we see him move up the boards and get drafted higher, right? Because there's just not a lot of guys with that profile who don't look like they're mistake prone or 4 years away as far as form, right? So we'll see. Judkins, Judkins or Henderson, chat, who's better?
I like Henderson.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards the speed for me, just because of the speed thing. You know what I mean? I think he catches the ball out of the backfield pretty damn good too. At the same time, you know what I mean?
He kind of reminds me of like a Josh Jacobs, but with the home run speed. You know what I'm saying? Like where if he gets out, he's out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's also one of those guys that he can, you know what I'm saying, he can get in there, you know what I'm saying, and make something happen too. Has pass catching ability. Yeah. I know Henderson's a smaller back, but I just like that. I think one of those one guy, one cut and gone type of running backs.
He has that jump cut that Josh displayed, right, where he'll press the hole and then just like bang, jump cut outside, and then has the speed to finish that, right? So it's kind of nice to watch him play. I like watching Henderson play. I like Judkins too because he's just raw, bro. Like it's a good, balance between the two of them. He's just a solid. Judkins is probably 220 something, 225. I don't know, but he just solid. Like he just run people over. Hard to bring down. Never stops. That sort of thing. But for me, I want that home run potential. So that's just my vote, right? Dirty Sanchez. He says, was it Sanchez fault or Kelly fault? It's a good question. We were all guessing. I mean, fault. I think that was probably the best that you was going to get out of Sanchez, bro. It's 10-6 with a good offense. Don't y'all expect? It's fucking Sanchez, bro. Come on, man. We all watched him at UCLA. I mean, USC. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I mean, he was cool. He wasn't even like our fourth best quarterback. How are you going to be great in the pros? Like, dude, like Darnold was hands down better than Mark Sanchez, bro. So,
he just looked pretty.
Right, he had a good look to him.
He looked like he could be the guy, but he really wasn't.
No, man. He had all the prototypical stuff, but it's like, why is his arm so weak if he's like the right size? Like, why is he like not really mobile or good, really? And then he butt fumbled. So it was like, okay, he just kind of like, he's just not that guy. And then Rebel says, I'm getting red flags now. Please don't draft Jay. Yeah, Milrow. So Senior Bowl, guys. Senior Bowl. We all got down there. The scouts all got down there and take a look at what's happening. Guys are playing against other guys who are also good at the football thing, not dudes who are going to be selling insurance pretty soon.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question to ask. Western Conference. How did he feel about Milrow? I mean, after
the Senior Bowl. So just to catch you guys up, day one, nobody really stood out. They looked great, right? But that's what you expect from quarterbacks at Senior Bowl day one because they are throwing to guys they don't know, right? I think we talked about this. Day two, Dylan Gabriel and looked good, and all the way through the whole rest of the time there, Dylan Gabriel was on point, throwing darts, looking great. There are mixed reports about Jackson Dart and how he looked. Some people say he vaulted himself into a higher first round pick position. Some people say he looked mediocre at best. He seems to have the prerequisite amount of everything. He can throw hard enough, he can move enough, he reads enough, he's tall enough, he's probably non-melanated enough. But anyway, we'll move on. And then we have Jalen Milroe, who I don't think did himself favors in Mobile this week. He did improve as the week went along, which shows that with coaching, he can improve. So somebody is going to say, God damn it, this is my project, and I'm going to make it great. I just hope it's not us, because we cannot afford it. We don't have the leeway to be projecting Jalen Milroe. Okay. We need to go get one of the dudes that already knows how to do the thing where the quarterback throws the football to another person. Okay. And that's not him right now. He's Justin Fields 2.0. So, however you feel about Justin Fields, you know how I feel about Justin Fields. And I'll say again, I feel about Justin Fields a certain way that I had to watch that man's tape, and it was the worst quarterback tape I have ever seen in my life. It was atrocious, and I'm offended. But to each his own, I guess. Maybe you like the quarterback who can't read or has a long windup, can't throw it.
He can run the field, but he can't throw the field.
He has a strong arm. It's completely inaccurate, though. So,
and it's going to take, just like Milroe. I think it's going to take some time.
mm-hmm.
And hopefully, you would think by this point, Fields would be, what is this, second or third year?
No, fifth.
Oh, he's been here that long? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no.
He is what he is.
That's what I say. He is what he is, bro. He's not. People are like, oh, no. I was like, no, he already did three or four in Chicago. Guys, am I right, chat? Maybe it was 4.
Yeah. So
at least 3.
It's one of those ones where, and that might be the risk of Milroe too. Like, if he don't get it.
Yeah, my experience is that you're playing major college football, and you haven't learned to read defenses. I try to explain, this is not like rocket science. Either you see it or you don't. It's not like someone can be like, hey, all of a sudden start seeing things where you notice when someone is open. Like, yeah, I don't really know what you do when someone can't see that already.
And there's because I know some people are gonna combat it, and they're like, oh, he throws a good deep ball. Okay, well, guess what? In the NFL, what's the first thing that gets taken away in the NFL?
Throwing deep balls, not really.
They take away the deep ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the safeties will let you get everything underneath, but you ain't gonna beat them over the top. So the thing that he's good at, he's not gonna be able to do a whole lot of.
It was not Nick Foles, Raiders Rebel, just quickly. It was Matt Flynn. It is Matt Flynn that he took the job from there. All right. Not Nick Foles. But
you talking about
Nick
Seattle?
Foles did sign, Nick Foles went to the Jaguars and disappointed them, actually. So but he did play his ass off for one.
Oh yeah, here's a just question. Hey, who's better, Nick Foles or AOC? Think about it. I'll be right back.
On the next
Nick
commercial
Foles?
break. No, I was saying,
Nick Foles.
you like Nick Foles?
AOC?
Yeah.
Are we talking about like projecting or like right now? Like right now.
I guess obviously right now.
Okay, like Nick Foles, I don't know if he's in the league right now, but like I'm taking Nick Foles as he was, mid-career Nick Foles, I guess, or at the end of his career, whatever, the Nick Foles we all know versus what we know of AOC. And yeah, Nick Foles is hands down better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's you put AOC in the Super Bowl, what happens? I rest my case. So I love AOC. I rooted for him. I continue to root for him, but like it doesn't take long to see it, right? If he was going to like break out, we probably know that by now. Right? A comparable player that he wishes he would become would be like a Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins as a rookie was processing ahead of, veteran players, making precise reads and things like that. You didn't see that from AOC as a rookie. He did not look like that. So
I just find it funny that people were swearing up and down, and I'm not just talking about Western, but people were swearing up and down that Milroe was the guy, and I'm like, where did you guys see that?
well, he's gonna run a 4.3 probably in the combine. Have you seen him? Like, he took his shirt off. He looked like one of those He-Man action figure things, which scares me even further because like quarterbacks are not supposed to be built like that. You need pliability. Ask Tom Brady. So yeah, I don't know.
Did Nick Foles play this year?
What's that?
Did Nick Foles play on the team this year?
I don't know. Did he?
I'll look it up.
If he did, then we can compare him to this year. That'd be fair.
No, I'm just wondering because I'll take him right now. Let's see.
He's 36, so he might have played somewhere. Let's see.
Right. Here you go.
Yeah, I think he was the backup somewhere. Hold on. The Colts, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So he couldn't beat out. He couldn't beat out Richardson.
Let's just see.
First of all, Richardson ass better get right. While he over there talking about he tired and shit.
Okay, so he retired. Nick Foles retired.
Right, he did.
As of 2024, after playing for that horrible team in red. And so he's no longer an active NFL player.
Right.
But we can take, kind of just, that's why I just compared him to like his, the Nick Foles we knew.
His last starts was in Indy. He was 0-2.
That sounds about right.
He played Chicago and Jacksonville, man.
Yeah, and the Queefs.
Ended the career like that.
The Rams. Yeah, so he was a Super Bowl MVP. Beat the mighty, mighty Patriots. And, Foles.
Oh.
him and Eli, the only niggas that
he was an MVP, huh? I know y'all niggas wasn't trying to debate with me with a nigga that won the MVP in the Super Bowl. I don't care if he played one half and was the MVP. Well, he played a hell of a half because if you were MVP in the Super Bowl, you did something.
Yeah, he also had that freaky like super duper game.
In the playoffs.
Nigga with
Sean like 500 yards.
Shady. He had Shady and Darren Sproles in the background, nigga.
And Deshaun Jackson, bro.
And Deshaun Jackson.
D-Jack.
Yeah,
And they had defense,
buddy.
though.
That real D-Jack, bro. Like, he was good.
They had
Not the
defense,
old
too,
one
though.
with Raiders.
we had a shell of that fool.
Yeah, we had his ghost.
And that's what we do, man. We always get the shell of people. You know what I'm saying? We got, I think the best
He
free
was
agent
just here to
that we
get the
brought
bag,
in,
man.
wide receiver, was Jerry
That's why he
Rice.
played for us.
And Jerry Rice was
Real.
still kind of on his last leg.
He definitely was just here to get the bag.
for sure.
The thing is, so Nick Foles had that game against us also, right? The Super Bowl. He also had the obligatory set some records against the Raiders game where he set the Eagles all-time passer rating and blah, blah, blah record. He was 22-28 for 406 yards and 7 touchdown passes.
What year was that?
That was the 2013. Mm-hmm.
Was that Derek's first year?
Nope. Derek gets drafted in 2014.
Okay.
So you can guess what we were rolling with back then. Let's go look at that team. Mm-hmm. They were 4-12. Broncos won that division 13-3. Let's see. Look at the roster. The Raiders were rocking. Oh boy. Okay. So, wow. Yeah. So this was the Phillip Adams led defense he was thrown against. Do I need to say any more, or can we just? I mean, I could keep going. This is Tyvon Branch and Miles Burris, Chimdi Chekwa, remember him? This was Matt Flynn. Let's see. We did have McFadden. That was good. Oh, C.O. Moore, probably our best defender.
What up, Pizzle?
Stacey McGee. Is Pizzle in the place? Is Pizzle in the place? What's up, Pizzle? Thanks for coming through. Yeah, not like, Nick Roach.
I miss Nick Roach.
Yeah.
Really short-lived contract.
We had Woodson.
Because he actually was playing well for us in the middle of our defense. He just got hurt.
No, the quarterback was Terrell Pryor.
Oh, we was hoping. We had we had Terrell Pryor. Who was his trusty wide receiver?
Oh man, Rod Streeter.
Yes, Rod Streeter.
Gerald Valdier.
Didn't do anything after that.
No. Gerald Valdier was there. Michael Rivera was the tight end. Yeah. Olawale was the fullback. Denarius Moore. That boy was either non-existent or sweet as hell. One or the other. Up and down. We had Darren McFadden.
McFragile,
yeah.
You call him McFragile?
Yeah.
Hey, McFadden is a fool. That boy come through the hole hard, run by everybody. All you gotta do is blow at his feet, he gonna fall over.
You like, what did you fall for?
That was crazy that he was that easy to tackle.
You just swipe at his feet. He'd be like, tumble.
Black Tim
That boy got no balance. He's just Black Tim we had Andre Holmes.
Orderly Holmes. That was our big body.
Yeah. Bryce Butler was the hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, 7 touchdown passes against that team. So lit us up.
The days when our offense was actually okay, but our defense just was not it.
Prior, yeah, I guess it wasn't horrible. He does have that one run.
Oh, you talking about against Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That boy hit the seam, and it was over. You're like, oh, he does run a 4.3.
And what happened to him after that? He became a running wide receiver.
He did, which is horrible because I was like, I kept saying he should switch to wide receiver when he was with us, but he wouldn't do it with us. No, he went to Cleveland to try to do it. I'm like, oh, you go to Cleveland and you're gonna fail because it's Cleveland. Anyway.
He was actually good at it. I think he actually got. Wasn't he an All-Pro at wide receiver? Like, didn't he go to the Pro Bowl or something like that as a wide receiver?
Let's see. Well, let's see what happened with Terrell Pryor. I know that he had some good stretches. I know that he showed real potential there. I don't know if he ever went Pro Bowl on it, but let's see.
I think he did.
Terrell Pryor is now 35. We went a 4.38 to be exact. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, he had the Jacksonville year. You're correct. That's right. And let's see. He had a total of 115 career receptions for 1,563 yards and 7 touchdowns. So receiving years ago. Okay, so his best year was with Cleveland in 2016. 77 receptions, 1,007 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And that was the year after he went to Cleveland in 2015, switched to receiver. The next year he had that year, and then that was it. He kind of just dropped off. He went to Washington, had 20 receptions in 9 games. Obviously injuries there. A year with the Jets where he played 6 games and had 14 receptions. A year with Buffalo, he played 2 games and had 2 receptions, and then he was out of the league. So definitely had some potential there, especially with the 77 receptions, 1,007 yards, 4 touchdowns, the 48-yard or 54-yard touchdown reception that year. Obviously he was physically imposing as a receiver.
Because he's a big body.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's see, because I think he was. How tall was Terrell? I'm gonna say he was like 6'4", which for a quarterback is tall, but for a receiver is extremely hard to deal with. Most corners are not. Yeah, he was 6'4", still is, I'm sure. 6'4", 228, and running a 4.38. Right, so hard to deal with. Yeah, a little blast down memory lane. So, VBZ says Shador is the guy. Do whatever it takes to get him. What y'all think about that?
I like
Shador,
Shador.
the dude.
That's my guy. I've said that plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? They've been debating over Shador or Cam Ward, and I still believe in Shador.
So I have Cam rated as my QB1, but that doesn't take into account the fact that sometimes it's fit, right? Like Shador is not very far behind him, and we happen to have his quarterback coach from the last couple of years, Tom Brady, as the football operations guy. So maybe the comfortable thing, to bring him in, and that could be an advantage over Cam, right? When you're talking about not that big of a difference. Some people have it way different. Some people have Cam way ahead of him. So, to each his own. They got their own scouting, so that's fair. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in this piece. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Thanks for coming through. He says, we need to trade Mayer. He's a liability. I mean, if he's not going to play or something. I think he's going to play, though. He seems to be good at football.
I think that's the only liability.
Yeah, if he was not going to play or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be a repeated issue. I doubt it. But we'll see. I guess time will tell, right? He says we need to trade him. We need to trade Mayer tight end, draft a great blocking tight end for the scheme, and for Brock to get 115 grabs. Mayer's actually a really good blocker, but he's also a good receiver at the same time. You kind of don't want to have somebody in that's just only good at blocking, and especially if you're trying to run a double tight. And in this situation with this Kelly offense coming over, there will be less of an emphasis on the tight end, second and third tight end positions, where you're going to see 3-4 receivers more than you see 2 tight ends. So that'll be different, right? Bizzle says I'm out on Milrow. That's fair.
Hold on, let me say something about the Brock Bowers situation.
The Mayer. Okay.
Yeah, the thing about Mayer is it's funny because Mayer just looked like that because he playing with Bowers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's still on our rookie contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he got it the year before Bowers
because he's fairly decent at blocking, and then he catches the ball. He just needs to stop trying to jump over people all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Goofy.
But other than that, he could be a viable weapon because I remember one game this year, they kind of took Bowers out of the game, and Myers really stepped up. So I mean, he's decent, but now 115 catches for a tight end, that's entirely too many. They're not going to allow Bowers to keep doing what he was doing this year. I promise you. This coming year, they're going to try to chop him down like Gronk. Like when Gronk came in the league, and they realized they really couldn't stop Gronk. So what they started doing was chopping Gronk down, injuring them.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I think that it's entirely possible that he, has to deal with injuries and things like that as they try to go after him. But I will say that he just looks like one of them dudes that's pliable, right? People have been coming after him a lot. He's bumbled, and run people over, break tackles, and just kind of doesn't get injured like that very often. So, knock on wood, I hope he stays with that. But knock
on wood. Gronk was like fucking Frankenstein. They made that nigga retire.
Yeah, it took a while though.
Gronk had 3 more years in him. He was like, I'm cool.
Yeah, he's no. Yeah, they're trying to hurt me out there. But yeah, I think, I'd like to see him just kind of develop and see what we got coming out of that. Because you never know, we might end up with a really dynamic kind of situation if Brett Bowers continues to develop into this all-world weapon, right? Where he's really just tight end / slot receiver / sometimes he's an X, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Just as long as we keep him preserved and keep him out of, because at least nowadays they don't hit as hard as they did when Gronk was playing. So maybe they'll preserve Bowers a little bit, protect the player.
Yeah, I believe in and those that are following my channel, I always talk about cheap labor, and cheap labor is literally, rookie contracts. So if Mayer is still under cheap labor, there's no need to move him. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't think he's garnered that much value to the point where we're going to have to move him. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, we're moving Mayer and we're getting a second, or we're getting, the number 1 pick, for his services. So you're not really even getting value back. So you might as well just keep him until his contract is up, and make that decision when you have to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? When his contract is is finally up. But I think keeping those two guys together, and I agree to what Black was saying. Like, there was times where Brock Bowers was out, and Mayers came in there, and he wasn't Brock Bowers, but he was he was holding his own, being the number one tight end. You know what I'm saying, when it was when his number was called. So we gonna need that, and because we're cheap at tight end. It benefits us to keep those guys. We ain't got nobody that we paying big dollar at the tight end position, because everybody right now is under cheap labor.
It's true. Easy makes a good point. Kind of officiating those hits out of the league more and more. Definitely since our time back there with Gronk and them. So, but I have a special guest who traveled through rain, sleet, snow, and probably cops and stuff because he needed to be here to take his lap. And I'm talking about one. What's up, Western?
What about that chip off the old block, huh?
Oh, there you go. I know you happy right now.
What about that chip off the old block, huh?
Instead of a beveled edge?
I've been calling it, man. Yeah, man. So for all them dudes out there who were saying, I ain't saying y'all, but for all the ones who were saying there ain't no chance in hell, like no chance, nah, man. Hey, hell's freezing over right now, man. You know what I mean?
Boy.
I'm very, very happy, to have Chip Kelly on the staff. It's something that I always wanted on the lives here. I was always asked, who would I like as OC. He's always been the guy that I've always said. So I've been saying this, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back right now. And I just gotta say, our coaching staff, right now is looking absolutely tremendous. Like, it is nothing short of spectacular right now. And I feel so much better with Pete Carroll and with what he's doing right now. Way, 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 way better than the whole Ben Johnson and that whole thing. So I'm feeling great. And then just to top that off too, I mean, I know we're talking Raiders here, but what about that Luka trade, man? To all the Laker fans out there, let's just rejoice right now, And I just have to say, and AD,
every time
you were awesome, and I'm thankful for the time that you were here. I'm thankful for the championship that you gave us.
Yes, thank you.
But when we could get Luka for just you and a first round draft pick and Max Crispy, I'm taking that trade all day, over and over and over. So that's all I got to say.
Shout out to Jalen Hood Schifino, who was also a part of that trade, but mattered so little that we did not even mention him.
Hey, he was an expiring contract, and I think Utah they were the third team involved, and I think they actually made some good moves by doing that. They took on Jalen Hood Schifino for less than $4 million, and they got 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying, to take
for their trouble. Exactly.
For their trouble, so they can actually get rid of him next season and still have those, so they can get him off the books and still have 2 second-round picks. You know what I'm saying, that they can do whatever they please with that. So, Utah, I think outside of the Lakers, I think Utah was the second team that kind of really won organizational wise for me.
Yeah. We got the best player out of the trade, and he's younger and healthier. So I think that says it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Western, since you here,
shoot it from the hip, because I've kind of been hearing you. So I got a feeling where this is going. So
I'm
please.
I'm not gonna throw stones and hide my hands.
No.
I
about Jalen Monroe, right?
Question. How did you feel about Monroe
at the Senior Bowl?
So
look, I'm not even too shocked or too worried about it. I'm not freaking out. It was he didn't play up to par, right? But I had a feeling I would be asked this, but yeah, I'm not even tripping. You know what I mean? I'm still high on him, right? He's one of those projects that could definitely pan out to a high ceiling. But I just gotta say, no matter how much I like Jalen, right? I just got a feeling with Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll, I don't even think that that's the option that they're gonna go. So as much as I would like him on our team, like that would be like a true dark horse kind of signing there, and I
Yeah.
don't think that that's where Chip Kelly and Pete are going.
I don't think that Tom Brady would allow him in the building. So
You stay in the
Tom Brady
parking
would be
lot.
like, "No, you can't come in the quarterback's room until you can throw a football correctly."
Yeah.
Why are you so buff?
Why are you so buff? Oh, that's a good one, man.
He got to do
To
something, right?
be honest, I'm getting more high on Sanders as our pick right now because I like as much as I would like Cam Ward. I just got this feeling in me, man, where we're gonna make something happen, or he's gonna just fall to us at 6. But I just got the strong feeling that Sanders
Mhm.
is gonna end up being a Las Vegas Raider.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top of the draft and some of the ways things are working out, it feels like that's something that could easily take place, right? Um, I think he could just fall to 6. We could be forced to move. I think if he gets to 4, right, past the Giants somehow, seeing as it's likely that the Titans uh, don't take a quarterback and that they take Abdul Carter, and then you still have Travis Hunter out there for Cleveland, and then you've got the Giants probably loving Cam Ward. Did you see the Giants fan answer the question like Cam Ward and Shador standing right in front of him, and they asked him, "Who would you rather have?" And he's like nervously like, "Cam Ward."
Yeah, man. Whatever way that they go forward, if they get Cam Ward or Sanders, I feel like whoever they get, it's a great choice for them. I like them both, and for some reason, Sanders, he's dropping off a lot of Raider fans' eyes right now, and I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Sanders yet, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. To me, I mean, he's still the same player that I saw, that I scouted. I know people have recency bias or something. Maybe he had like a mediocre bowl game, so. But yeah, no, I feel like he's just below Cam. Cam is 1A, he's 1B.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a huge difference, but there is
Yeah.
some difference there, depending on what you care about more too. Like Cam's big thing is he's got to learn to stop the hero ball stuff. There'll be these plays on tape where you're like, why on God's green earth would you try to throw that damn football right now? Right.
Yeah.
And so that can't happen too much in the pros, where you lose the faith of your team and get benched and shit. And Anthony Richardson or something. So you got to be careful with that. So that's one thing. Compared to Shador, whose biggest thing is going to be like, maybe he needs to, stay in the pocket a little bit longer or get the ball out quicker and not try to make a play by holding it a little bit longer. But when he does, you don't see Shador throwing those kind of balls, right? Is he as physically talented as Cam? I think Cam has a little bit stronger arm.
Yeah.
I think Shador is a little faster, but Cam's stronger. Right. So you start to go back and forth. It's like, whatever, man. Like,
Yeah.
There's not a huge difference, but I think that like we'll see. You can't tell a huge difference between the two of them. They both seem to be like gamers. Cam is more quiet, more reserved, right? But like still very confident. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
I've said on record that I like Shador, but if we're at 6 and Shador's off the board and Cam is there, pull the trigger.
Run that card up there.
You know what I'm
Run the
saying?
card.
Like I'm not gonna be mad if we end up with Cam Ward and not Shador, even though I like Shador bet more. You know what I'm saying? I would not be mad at it, and I stand by that. I've been said that my choice would be Shador, but if it landed that it flipped, and we had the chance to get Cam, let's run it with Cam.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. So I just got to ask, how do you guys feel about this Chip Kelly hire? I mean, I'm pretty sure I am the most ecstatic of the whole panel here, but what is your guys' take on that?
No, I think Black is the most ecstatic.
Yeah, I promise you, Black.
You can't be more ecstatic than I am.
Tell me.
Nah, I want to hear. Nah, I want to hear how you feel about it. Because
oh man, I've
get sarcastic.
Oh, come on, brother. I've look. I see. He was once a head coach, right? And I understand how it played out for him in Philly. It was not great, you know what I mean? And I just got a feeling that I always knew that when he was in college, right, that he would want to come back to the pros at some point. And I don't think he would have been our offensive coordinator without Pete. And but without Pete Carroll there, right? And I just see our offense. It's going to be a night and day difference between Luke Getsy, right? And I could just see it now, just like all kinds of crazy plays happening. And I just heard that news, man, and I just grinned so big, and I texted Hot earlier, and like yeah, you know, I don't want to say it, but man, I'm pretty damn good at fucking calling things out before it happens, man. So
you are killing it this year. Westerdamus is on fire. So if you want the lotto numbers, hit him up. He's got those for you. But yeah, I mean, from the Pete Carroll to now we got the Chip Kelly. I feel like there's more. I'm selling you short. We'll get there. I'll have to keep a list. It's like we'll do a little website, Westerdamus predictions. You have to do it in poetry form though, and make it mysterious.
poetry form. No, dude, it's just a great hire, man. You know, it's a great hire, and I'm just happy because like I've been saying this, you know, like over and over and over, right? But we really look like adults at the table now, you know, like we are actually on the right track of doing something great. And I get it, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, right? But I'm counting, you know, a few chickens right now, you know, so I'm very, very happy.
He's like, I'm gonna break the rules, add a little chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway, gonna know. You know what I mean? Oh man, yeah, no, it's for me, it's just like he's good at the coordinator, and that is a change.
Just let him call that offense, brother. And dude, we're gonna see great things. Gonna see great things.
I believe it. I mean, your reaction was pretty clear, right? That was.
And also, you know, he's the highest. Oh, yes, that was me right there, man. I was Ric Flairing it all over my goddamn house, man. I was like, man, I'm a wheeling, dealing, jetpack flying, gold Rolex wearing, gator shoe stomping. You know, I was juiced, man. So yeah,
he was a little bit hyped. Hit me with the Ric Flair meme, and I was like, okay, he likes it. But I knew you liked that. That's why I thought it was funny. The opposition between the two of you and the Chip Kelly thing is perfect because you both talked about this, and then had your stances were clear, and here he comes. It's just like the show gods love me, so thank you, show gods. Thank you very much.
So Black, please, your take, brother. Share it, man.
And here we go.
Come
man.
on, bro.
Let me sit back. Let me sit back.
Don't be
Tell
shy.
me, Black. Tell me. Tell me how you feeling.
Tell me how you really feel.
Just like BBZ say, how many wins do we get? A lot of ass slapping going on right now in Raider country. I want wins. And so for all y'all that seen Pulp Fiction, y'all know who the wolf is, right? Y'all seen if y'all seen Pulp Fiction, it's the guy he called the wolf.
Drives
He's a
fast,
cleaner.
talks fast.
And so this is where exactly. And so what happened was Samuel Jackson and John Travolta, their characters shot this dude in their car and they need the car cleaned up. And so he told them to clean the car up, and they cleaned the car up. And he was like, "Oh, it looked good," because they was trying to, get away, dispose of the body in the car. And the wolf said, "Let's not start sucking each other's dick just quite yet, fellas." You know what I'm saying? He was being real sarcastic. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, let's not get too ahead of the cart right now, because I'm not really high on Chip Kelly, because out of all the things that I've seen that happen in the Raider franchise, this is the most questionable, and it's alarming to me. So it's not just questionable, it's alarming. But I hope I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm wrong, but I tried to like it, but I just don't.
Would you have felt better if it was Luke Getzey rather than him?
I don't know. It would probably be the same. And what would probably give me the nod for Luke Getzey is because then it'll boil down to something personal at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because then I don't like Chip Kelly because of what was going on in Philadelphia. Like, a lot of people don't know, right? And I don't too much care for that, because you can't just forget something like that. But whatever. So if all things being equal, I might would go with Chip Kelly because he has the experience. You know what I'm saying? Because he has NFL experience. If I had to pick between them two, so I would go with Chip Kelly.
Right on. Yeah, I definitely think he learned, or I'm hoping, you know what I mean, he damn well should have learned, from his past errors and things like that, right? But I just got a feeling, and it's just me here, I feel like he's gonna do great things. Him and Pete and Tom, it's gonna be a perfect harmony. But I definitely get what you're saying, to where you want to see results first, which I totally understand.
But like I said, like I was telling the fellas though, let him come out, and the Raiders are 9-8, and they don't look like they look like they're progressing and all that. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, all right. You can walk around the facility unsupervised now. You can have unsupervised visit with my kids now, and then we'll see how he act after that.
Yeah,
because I don't trust him.
There's also something to group dynamics, right? Where you're a coach on the team and everything. And Pete Carroll, I will just say that if the team isn't successful, it most likely will be because the offense wasn't great. And we have our sacrificial lamb already served up with an apple in his mouth.
That's definitely true.
That's exactly how it's going to come out.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to come out.
That's true Raider fashion.
Yeah, that is true Raider fashion.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That's it.
I gotta
what they say, chef kiss. Yeah, that's how that really play out.
You just saw it bait that thing.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that he's gonna come here and he's
Right,
gonna coach his heart out. Because I also think that
that ain't no Raider shit. I don't know what it is.
he possibly thinks in the back of his head, like, all right, well, when Pete's done, do I get this job?
Yeah, see,
So
That's a great motivator.
So
You don't really have a chance, though.
I don't see him like I don't want him to be our head coach after Pete goes, right? But I would love him as
well, why are we bringing him in?
Because we didn't say he was going to be head coach. That's his own mental stuff that
yeah.
he may have
But I'm
going
sure
on.
that's what he's thinking in the back of his head, like.
Of course, that's
So
what
if
he's
I-
thinking.
Graham probably got a little something where he was like, "Listen, come on back
Yeah.
now."
He should be happy that he didn't get fired amongst all this fuckery. Like for real though, it was a lot of whirlwinds that came through that shit and did not touch his house that easily could have knocked his shit off the foundation. For real, like
Shout out to
you talking about a survivor.
Yeah, shout out to Edgar Bennett, who was the wide receiver coach through multiple administrations and may not be brought back this time. We'll see, but man, that dude's a survivor too. So
Hey, so like V Beezy say, because I remember the last show we was talking about we want to see what the coaching staff look like. I know we got to see the roster, but how many wins do you think we have using just your gut with Pete Carroll's head coach, Chip Kelly as the OC, and PG Patrick Graham as the defensive coordinator? In your mind, what do you think is the bottom floor that the Raiders should anticipate in wins and losses?
Well, that's a simple one for me, right? Because because it's going to be the same context as what I said last time. That it's going to be more wins than 4 games, and I really can't give you a true assessment of the wins and losses going forward until I see the absolute complete roster in its true form, right? But I will say that I guarantee you, and I promise you, just like our Black says, we will have more than 4 wins. I guarantee that. But I will give you my true wins and losses once the roster and the final team is set, because I don't feel justified throwing out an answer like that until I could see it in its true form.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm going to be reckless. I'm going to be complete.
No, that's the easy
Yeah, I'm going to
way
be
out.
completely reckless. We're not losing double-digit games with Pete Carroll as head coach ever. There you go.
Man, all right, since don't nobody want to jump out the
I
window,
said
Pete
no
Carroll is the head
double-digit
coach.
losses.
Chip Kelly is a fucking offensive coordinator, which is a great hire according to y'all. And Patrick Graham that got our defense middle tier. So we should not lose no more. I mean, you should win 6 games or more coming out
I'm
the
saying
box.
8.
Yeah, I really want to say 8.
I just did.
I really want to
I
say
said it.
8.
With my chest.
Yeah, I really wanted to say 8. Yeah.
And let's not forget that we got our ass handed to us by the Panthers last year and ain't won a game.
No, those games.
All team nigga like Andy Dalton can whoop our ass and we never see another light of day, then this should be the great get back that we've been all looking for, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think
Right?
I think honestly, if there's a whole bunch of ifs, right? That's if they bring back Spillane. That's if they bring back
That sound
Merritt.
like you trying to have faith.
There's
That sound like faith talking to
yeah.
me.
So, barring all of that, right? Retaining those guys off the defensive side, because we know the best side of the ball was our defense. I think, to be honest with you, I think we're close to 10 games.
Well, the reason why I would say
even if our offense just does a little bit more than what they did with the defense that we had, I think we would have even would have got that this year.
Health question, really? Yeah, if you stay healthy enough.
Yeah, the reason why I wouldn't say 8 wins is because I don't know who our quarterback or our running back is, but I know for sure that we should be able to get 6 wins regardless who them people are, because I know at minimum Pete Carroll gonna get a competent running back that's gonna be able to get be able to get through the season, or I mean, like a running back room that's not going to look nothing like this. Like, in our quarterback situation, going to be a lot better, like different.
And to what you're saying, like you talked about, them fixing the running back room. Just picture that. Say if we don't get a quarterback and we just got to run with the great Minshew and AOC, right? But but the running game is better.
Right. That's a different team.
Just the running game alone.
With Minshew.
And the defense stays healthy.
Minshew can win us 6 games.
Yeah.
Y'all tripping on Minshew.
Yeah.
Minshew can legit win us 6 games. AOC probably only got 6 wins in his whole career. Ain't no it's probably true.
But
I think he like 6 and 9.
But yeah, like to that, like just like you were talking about the running game, just factor that and then think about how many games that just would have been for us if we didn't have the carousel to find out that Amir Abdullah was our best running back.
Yeah.
When you say that out loud, it sounds even worse.
Right,
but it's the facts.
Right.
I've been on the Amir Abdullah camp. You know what I'm saying? When everybody was grilling me, talking about Amir Abdullah was going to get replaced by Dylan Lowby, and Amir Abdullah is not a good running back just because we use him only on third down. I knew that he could run in between tackles. He just never had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, no. He did that in Nebraska. He did it in Detroit. Yeah, he could absolutely do that. He was just 32, and has some other stuff off the field. So people felt like he was kind of like end of his career, not the same player. 32-year-old running backs usually aren't very good at playing that position anymore. But he's a different 32. He's always an athletic freak, and because like one of them dudes, and didn't have like a ton of mileage on him the last few years, so he's not all beat up from 400 carries or whatever. That sort of stuff. So he's a little flash. Some people would argue Sincere McCormick was just as good as him, but we'll see. I mean, he was playing against a defense that was actively quitting.
It can look good on paper, right? But that's why you play the game, because in practice, you know what I'm saying? It looks one way, but once you apply the principle, then it's a whole different game. Like, I don't know how we thought just because we had 2 mediocre running backs was going to make us have a super back. Like, no, you got to put one of them in to be the nigga, and they're going to beat up on him, and then the other one supposed to come in and keep him off of him. But not if you put them in there one at a time and they both get mopped. Like, because neither one of them can even fight you off for 5 minutes. Like, you can't even bring one out. Here comes another off the top rope. Here he comes. You can't even get none of that because the fight is over. They went in there and cleaned up already. It's over.
And we'll never see a line like Detroit to even do that.
Yeah. So right. And then you won't have a line yet that's cohesive enough to cover up for it. Like where the hole is here, the hole is over here. Like even when the hole was over there, they didn't even find it. So yeah. We just need a competent running back, like one running back that we know we can get a ball to on first and second down.
Absolutely, bringing a veteran that Pete trusts. I think that's important. Somebody that knows, that he feels like he can give the ball to, because we see what happens when a coach loses trust in a running back. They disappear from the roster as if they were kidnapped, like Dylan Lowby. So. We don't want that to be a repeat, so let's get somebody in there.
Yeah, that was messed up. That boy got 1 carry. He didn't get no more carries.
People, he fumbled. I get it, man. That's what you bench him for a game or 2. You don't bench him the whole rest of the season. It's insane.
The boy even got a kick return and didn't get his damn.
You can miss me with Dylan Lowby. He had the same issue Amari Cooper had, the drops.
Hey. He was not fumbling in college. He had fumble in the pros. Like people fumble.
Man, come on, you can't get defined by one play. Because had he ran for a touchdown right there.
Are you going to bring up the preseason carry also?
Do we need to bring the highlight tape of Dylan Lowby?
He had 2 carries and 2 fumbles.
How many times the ball hit the ground?
But then he had a kick return.
Just saying, like, no, and I'm not saying that he's completely a wash or anything like that, but hanging
Here
your
we
hat
go.
on that and trusting in that, he should have been.
Like you
He should
trust
have
me.
did what
So wait a
Sincere
minute.
McCormick did. He
I
should have been
trust
on the
what you
practice
Philly
squad
on
and
here.
worked his way up.
It's easier to fumble on a kick return than it is a running play. Like, if you trust you for kick return, look, that's just something. That's a coaching thing. You fumble the ball, you punishing them by not giving them the ball no more.
Okay.
That's all that shit
He
boiled
says,
down
give me
to.
one reason why we keep Lowry. Because he was a rookie who was playing at a low level competition. He's got his body. He's got to get his NFL body, right? So hit them weights, all that stuff. He'll get stronger.
We ain't got no running backs. That's
right.
why.
And he was actually talented and gifted. Like the dude is a one-cut zone runner with speed and vision. So
Look,
why not give him a chance?
I'll just say here with him, the sample size with him was extremely small. So I'm not ready to throw in the towel on him yet.
No, not at all.
Decent.
I'm not on the boat of getting rid of him, but I think with him seeing what we've already, the little small sample size of what we saw, there needs to be progression to it. He doesn't need to be, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm gonna use a baseball reference. He doesn't need to automatically get drafted and go to the show. Like he needs to go to single A, triple A.
Why?
You know what
Because
I'm
he
saying?
fumbled.
Get that all out of your system. Like, I think the whole reason.
Why do people think it's in his system?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he fumbled the ball.
Yes.
Hey, there is nothing
you
like
think like every
football.
carries he gonna fumble the ball.
Fans and fumbles, especially people who coach it anyway. Anything with coaching, if you fumble the ball, you all of a sudden might as well have hepatitis, bro. Like, damn.
Hepatitis is being
Because
nice.
you only have one job.
You being nice with the hepatitis reference. You got
Like,
C19.
Real.
But back to what I'm saying is, I think it would have benefited him. I think it would have benefited him if he went to practice squad. You know what I'm saying, and worked all of that out. I think that's why Sincere McCormick, everybody was all excited about him, but it was because he was getting it out the mud in practice squad, and when he finally got his chance, he was not letting it go.
He definitely paid his dues. Sincere McCormick.
Ooh.
Sincere McCormick. Yeah,
McCormick?
man. Years. Same thing.
Yeah, but everybody ain't got to go through that.
Right.
He does.
Because to keep it real, McCormick shouldn't even have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? He should have been got carries in the regular season. Or, no, better yet, he should have been at least on the roster last year. Even if he got no carries. He should at least been on the roster. He's been on the practice squad for how many years?
4 years.
And so the only reason why he got any run this year because we went into the running back room and wasn't nobody in there. And it was like, well, we got something on the practice squad.
They said,
it was like, well,
they said, who was it? They said, Sincere McCormick.
I was like, oh, good old Sincere. Oh, good kid. He's always here.
And back to Dylan Lobby. It speaks something when they're bringing somebody else in from Timbuktu to start over him at running back. Didn't we see a running back that we never saw before play over Dylan Lobby?
Yeah, because he probably got more carries than McCormick. So it's easy to assess his game. That's what I'm saying. The Raiders ain't the best in roster moves. That's what I'm saying. Like, even with the Lobby thing, that's not a good roster move to do that to him. Like, you damn near gonna crush his whole career now because he fumbled the ball on his first carry. Like, y'all act like he gonna fumble. I can see if y'all put him in the game three different games and he fumbled the ball, or 2 out of 3, then you can be like, oh shit, he must got fumble issues. Like, is that something he was doing in college? Okay, no. All right, well, why are you fumbling in the pros? They hitting too hard? Like, what's going on? Like, I wouldn't throw his career away thinking like, damn, boy, you got to go all the way back to square one. And you keep him in the game and he get a kick return. That says a lot. A kick return?
Yeah. And in this new
in a game, not practice, in a game.
an actual game, and it's interesting because we have an opportunity with this kind of change to the kickoff. Somebody is going to figure it out first.
Right. But now
Who
I
will it
see what
be?
they're doing though. I see what they're doing now. They be creating false gaps, so that way you will run towards the gap, and then there's always a
bam.
dude right there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I peep that.
Somebody's gonna bust that, or they're gonna figure out how to
They
disguise
always
it
just
better.
come around. They always just loop around. Like when you hit that
Mhm.
gap, they always just loop
Yep.
around.
Yep. So you don't know which way it's gonna go, but if they hit that
So you know,
seam,
yeah. So you gotta set that guy up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what Lowry does. He's cheap. We just drafted him late in the 6th round. Give the guy a chance.
6th round.
Yeah, man.
Oh
People
yeah, he
acting
posted
like,
a fumble, being a 6th round guy.
yeah, he's from a small school.
Oh yeah.
Gotta give him some time.
He probably ain't never been hit like that for real though before.
Okay,
You
was gonna say.
hey,
So you might be right. He might need to go to the practice squad, but don't
Get his
don't-
NFL body. Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't
He
need to
still
be
got a
on. You
college
don't need to
body.
be the show. I'm just saying, and that's why I feel. I'm not saying we completely get rid of the dude.
Well, listen, who made that?
Hey,
Well,
let
if he got the
him.
kickoff return though, he do need to do something.
Who made that roster decision? You
BBG.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, if he did drop the kickoff return, that's not good.
say,
I don't mean drop it like fumble it.
S-Mac Singer is injury prone as fuck. We can keep him for death type shit. Oh man, his stick. Yeah, he did be getting hurt. Commercial break, huh? Yeah, they'll be hitting commercial.
He talking about
Where's Raph at? Raph, you in the chat? They need a commercial break, Raph. Who knows what's going on with that?
say commercial break.
Yeah, man. So, what are we gonna do, man? We're gonna give him a chance, and we got the Lauby and the.
Oh, he gonna get a whole
Sincere
lot of
McCormick
chances.
and then whoever we bring over as a veteran, and then probably draft a back two, and then you got a rebuilt room. Andre Madison is gone.
Dylan Lobby's gonna be at the bottom of the depth chart.
What do we do with Zeus? Do we keep him and give him a chance? Do we cut him? Do we trade him?
He's cheap labor, so you keep him until his contract is up. If he gets beat out in camp, then he gets beat out in camp.
And do what with him? You already know he's gonna get beat out in camp. Like what we gonna do with him?
You
He's
ain't
really
gonna get
athletic, and maybe he'd be a great special teamer.
Expensive ass special teamer. How much he made?
Nah.
How much he made? About
fourth round pick, like a fourth round pick. I mean, rookie
how much
contract.
he made?
I don't know. What a
It's
fourth
a
round
rookie
pick?
contract. Don't
Zeus,
matter what it is.
Zeus on a rookie
Yeah.
contract?
Yes.
Oh, just let him have a number then. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And let me say this, Raider Nation. Our
Yeah,
team
he
ain't that good that we can just get rid of players. We don't have that. We don't have that depth yet. We haven't drafted that well to say, oh yeah, just get rid of Zeus and not have anything to go with that.
Barely go.
So if he's under a rookie contract, which is very cheap, again, there goes my word, cheap labor. If he doesn't get beat out, you know what I'm saying, number wise, if he doesn't become that fifth running back, and we need that fifth running back to turn into a wide receiver just for things, and then we got to let him go. That's the only way that I'm letting go of Zeus.
Oh, we got 5 running backs.
No, I'm not. I'm just throwing numbers, but I'm saying if you're trying to get 53, right, and then you start looking at the roster and it's like, hey, we might need an extra D lineman, or we might need an extra offensive lineman. Where can we drop somebody? You know what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead and drop that. Go ahead and drop that fifth running back. Who's that fifth running back? Oh, it's Zeus. Okay, you gotta go. If it's one of those situations, I'm cool with it, but not just getting rid of him just to get rid of him.
Mhm.
We don't have we don't have talent like that to just let people go like that.
If they're on rookie
Yeah.
contract, we do though.
Yeah. And then there's the politics, right? If it was a situation where it was a veteran and you're paying, you know what I'm saying, 5 or 6 million to have him on the team, then hey, maybe we can just go ahead and let you go, bro. Because I think
It should be an unwritten rule too that you can't play running back and wear a single digit number unless you really dope. Because them niggas was looking dope on the field, but they play like garbage, boy. Them like Josh Jacobs, he looked better in that number than he did 28. Like, and 28 was a hard number because don't nobody wear it.
Right. It was a good number. Josh.
I think the last person to wear 28 running back was Marshall Faulk.
Well, Peterson was
AP.
26.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Adrian Peterson. I was right.
Did he wear AP? Yeah, he wore it for a minute.
Yeah.
But Marshall Faulk is the most famous one, I think. Boy, Marshall Faulk.
He didn't get over 2,000 yards though.
Yeah, because he used to catch a lot out the backfield, go crazy.
Yeah, he'll have like
Marshall Faulk is a goat, man.
3,000 yards total. Yeah,
but he at least got them 2,000, nigga.
But even on top of that, when you look at
Marshall Faulk
schematically wise, when you got Torrey Holt and you know what I'm saying, you got wide receivers. That's a running back
over all of them.
You know what I'm saying? It's either you go guard the pass and we're gonna run it on you, or you gonna guard the run and we throwing it over your head.
Yeah. And if you put everybody back, we just throw it to Marshall.
Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce.
Just run everybody down the field, and if ain't nobody open, dump it off the Marshall Faulk, and he gonna get like 20 yards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if that's the case, you got to get Kurt Warner too.
They didn't do it, so they had Kurt. Although Trent Green was like dealing for a minute before he got hurt.
Marshall Faulk always been that factor like that.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
Well, yeah, man.
He was
San Diego State.
One of the greatest.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about your boy. That's how I feel about your boy Chip Kelly, man.
Don't trust him.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't like it's too many. I see more. I don't see the upside being that significant, but give a man a chance. He might show you that he can be something. So I'm gonna give him a chance. Well, I ain't got no choice, but
no, that's I get it. I understand. So I respect that for sure.
Well, guys, been here over 2 hours. I feel like we covered everything we needed to cover. We even got Westerdamus to come through and kind of seal this thing up because it was just missing a little something, right? And it was I think it was the braggadociousness of someone who's been correct so often. He's glowing.
Man, who in that kitchen tearing shit down? They cut shit up. Boy, damn, I want some of that.
And whoever that is, they might have to send me a plate.
They going to work.
Hey,
they doing that moving too. I hear him.
Hey,
that boy smelling you like it's almost done. It's trying to go.
Hey, and whoever that is, I hear the water too. So that must mean they wash, they clean too. So okay, I know we got a clean plate. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, make sure everybody plays their part, right? That's all. So.
Wash your dab dishes before you cook, people.
Please do. Don't cook in a dirty kitchen.
Wash while you cook. You know what I'm saying?
As you're cooking, you got to clean while you're going. People be trying to wait to the end. What are you doing that whole time? Put your phone down. Put the phone down. It's dirty anyway. Wash your hands and clean up as you go. Just
because you definitely ain't gonna be trying to wash dishes after you eat, because you gonna catch the itis and want to go to sleep. So that means you got the dirty dishes sitting in your sink or wherever you know. What I'm saying,
they crusted over. You got to use elbow grease to clean them. Don't do it. They shouldn't be in your sink anyway. Keep your sink clear. Goddamn it. The key to a clean kitchen is a clear sink.
Clear sink is a happy sink.
That's right. So I think we did it, guys. So
You know, you're
any last thoughts besides how to keep your kitchens clean? Because I know that's what everyone wants to know.
Hey, we giving out this Raider game. You know what I'm saying? We also giving you some, life lessons. If you didn't like what we said about the Raiders, you could take whatever we said and go home and run with it. All right.
If you want some real life lessons, then you could come on down and either hit the water park after dark with me and Black, or one of the master classes we have coming.
You got your wristband, adults only.
Do you feel me?
Only. Yeah, that's right. You must be this old to ride this ride.
We gotta be this old.
Mm-hmm. But it's good stuff.
Check it out,
Easy to
Wednesday
tell
night.
you about it. Yeah, Wednesday night. Come on through. Let's see. I want to thank you guys for getting some of these likes up. It looks like we got a little more on the likes, up to like 20 something, 30 something. Keep going, y'all. We could take it more.
Yeah,
take some
on.
more. Take some more before we get on out. And you can always like it.
Yeah,
as long as it's here.
That like button, sub to the channel.
Yeah.
It's free. It doesn't cost anything
subs.
at all.
Nothing.
We're not gonna say the things that you want to hear. We're gonna tell you what we feel, and if you can't handle the reasoning, then I'm gonna give you some more seasoning. So.
I heard that.
and he can talk like that because he's been right so often. Maybe you should just pay attention.
Yeah, I don't know about this one though.
He's all, I don't know about this one.
You have been right. I don't know why. Hey,
stay tuned, and time will tell.
You've been right. You was right about the Pete Carroll shit already, so I'm just going. You get at least like a whole football season worth of flowers for that, because you came out of left field with that one. To me, it was left field.
Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of hate for it, but damn, do I feel good sitting on top of that throne right now?
Come up with that. That's why I was like, where you hear that at? That's why I asked you that. Like, where you hear that at? Because I was like, what made you think Pete Carroll even want to coach?
He has something to prove, and he just loves the game so much, and I think he wants to ride out in the sunset on his own terms, and I'm just expecting great things. This is a season, and I can't wait until we finally get our true roster and all that set. So that way, I can give you guys an honest wins losses going forward.
Raiders like Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Shout out to old school.
Old school. What's up, Marshawn? Nah, man. Like, I feel kind of blessed to have lived up in Seattle for the years that I did. I have a very clear idea who Pete Carroll is, the system that he likes to run, how he coaches, just kind of like the feel of it from being in that city, watching him do that, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I have a good feeling about it. Absolutely. You guys know how I feel. I think the more interesting thing is the fact that he is open to change, right? Most people who are 73 are going to do it their way, and that's just going to be what it is. This man is very pliable.
What do you mean, no?
Exactly. He's bringing in people he don't know, which is, it's a lot for somebody 73. And so shout out to him for I don't know, just like standing in the face of this ageism shit.
Right.
Right. Like, I'm 73. I don't give a shit. Right.
Hey, you know what he said? He said, I don't like that number 73 on my back. I don't like wearing that number. Hey, that was hella funny when he said that.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, well, what the fuck they got to do with this? I piss vinegar, motherfucker. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah, man, it was
great.
Like,
I still do more push-ups than your punk ass.
Right.
He came in. He was joking. He gave a great,
he wasn't joking.
press conference, man, and yeah, man, I'm fired up.
That nigga was serious when he said that. He was like, I don't like wearing that number 73 on my back.
Yeah, man. I think
He was
with
he said it in his face.
what we have on this team, we have every right to feel like there's something moving in the right direction. And
No,
it's okay to feel that way. Because you know what? How many chances do you get? You might as well just take it. Don't you think
yeah.
so?
I was the first one to ask about him being his age. Remember, I was the 1st one to ask, but I wasn't concerned to the level of like him like being geriatric or something. Like he gonna go in there and forget the plays or something. I
No.
was just saying like, what's our long term strategy? Because
Right.
if you're going with a coach that's older like that, you must have a plan. Unless you're trying to win right now.
He apparently believes this team can win right now.
Well,
And the thing is, they're ahead of where Seattle was when he took over. If they are able to get the quarterback that he wants, or even just Russell Wilson, they are light years ahead of that and could immediately go to the playoffs.
yeah, I'm absolutely confident, and it clearly shows with the moves that we've been doing so far that it's clearly a win now. It's not a complete total rebuild like a lot of people think it is.
If we get Russell Wilson, we better win right now. He played in this division already, so
Yeah,
Absolutely. There's a lot of names being thrown out there, right? But it's rumor season, so nobody truly knows,
And
who that person may be.
no,
and even with that, you know what I'm saying, even with the quarterback, there needs to be, just like we're talking about the head coach, there needs to be a succession plan. There needs to be, and there has to be a succession plan.
why?
because Russ has only got a couple years.
Who?
Probably want to Russ. If we got Russ, then we need a succession
Oh,
plan.
yeah. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I got what you're saying.
So yeah, let's wrap it up. I got places to go, people to talk to.
True.
Wrap it up.
So yeah, I will. So anyway, I mean, I'm gonna end it the same way I always do, right? Guys, like, stay positive, because what the hell else are you gonna do?
Absolutely.
Go to bed on
You
an
could
air
sleep.
mattress.
You could sleep on an air mattress, but then you should still stay positive. It'll change. It'll grow.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, say the same thing that I always say too. Keep it cool, keep it light, keep it fresh. Try to be a better person each day, and there's nowhere to go but up, no matter what terrible situation you're in. And just like how Hot said, try and stay positive.
What, 1% each day, and by the end of the year, you're 3.5 times better. There you go. All right. So that's what we want to do. Keep it that way, and also read in between the lines, guys, because that's where it's at, right? And lastly, stay hot. Good night now.
Yeah.